Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new speed build. Today we are going to be recreating this lovely little green like farmhouse style home because I thought that it was just perfect to add a little rental off to the right hand side where you see like that other second entrance. I thought it just looked so nice and I really wanted to recreate it, and I actually found it on Facebook Marketplace. It just kind of popped up under like suggested rentals in your area. And I don't actually even know if it's a real rental in my area because it had like multiple units available and there was no other pictures. It just said multiple units available in such and such an area. I was like, that doesn't look like a real picture, but I thought it was really cute and I love the color scheme and I knew I could recreate it pretty easily with the roof pieces and such. So that is where we are at right now, and I'm just completing the shell of the build, and then I just went right into the roofing because I thought that was easy with this type of build, knowing just what the outside looked like already. And it was pretty simple shape, just a normal gabled roof on the top and then off to the side. And then over here, of course, I wanted to use some terrain manipulation so that we could have some steps leading up to the front door, but it looks like it kind of goes up a hill slightly, so I used the flatten to height setting on the terrain tools, and it looks a little funky right now, but I do end up using a debug stone fence from University, and I just kind of cover up where the terrain drastically slopes up like that, and I add some debug plants. I also use the smooth terrain tool option because I thought that made it look a little bit more natural. And then here is more roofing. I was trying to figure out on the front here, and then I just went with the half gabled roof all along the side, and I just kind of fed it into the interior of the upper level. And I also extended that little balcony piece there to go over so that I could put a trim on it, as well as a ceiling paint for outside. And then I use this little like rounded, the 5 pane roof, whatever you want to call that. And I again fed that into the wall. Now you will see in a little bit how that did cause me some trouble when it came to floor planning the upstairs, because as soon as I closed in that room, the roof cut into the upper level, but I was able to fix it, so you'll see that in a little bit. If you're curious about how to fix that in your own builds, I will give you a very quick little run through. Also, Miss Griffey did a roofing tutorial in case anyone, or sorry, not Miss Griffey, Griffey. She changed the name to just Griffey. She did a roofing tutorial recently, and I highly suggest you check it out. I will link it in the description down below if you need any assistance with roofing, because it can be very challenging, especially with the clipping and all the glitches that happen with that. I also added some corbels on the underside of that kind of rounded sort of roof piece there because it was in the picture, and I had a little bit of a trouble with the windows. I wanted to use similar windows to what was shown in the picture, but I really thought that the Strangerville window option was better because it had that matching like pointed triangle piece that I wanted to put in the roof area to make that make sense. And I also added some chimneys and some roof decoration from Strangerville as well, because in the picture there's some roof decoration. I couldn't do anything with the eave decoration as shown in the photo because, you know, we don't have that ability. And I thought about trying to replicate it with like roof pieces, but I didn't want to overcomplicate it. I wanted to keep this pretty simple so that everybody could follow along, and if they wanted to recreate, they could. So now I'm just adding the trim between the first floor and the second floor, and making sure I have roof trim on everything, and also adding some columns where the columns did not show up on the wallpaper, because it doesn't always show up where you want it to. And then changing the roof texture and color because I wanted it to look a little bit more rundown, a little bit more gray. Adding more of these Strangerville windows because they are gorgeous. I use them all the time. I know if you've watched any of the last couple videos I uploaded, pretty much use them in every single recent build because I just can't get away from them. And then trying to figure out here the front door situation, I used this one from Seasons in the white swatch. Thought it was very pretty. And then I had to use Tool Mod to make the corbels just slightly bigger and then also raise them back up. And here I'm going to be working on figuring this out because I knew I was going to have problems with it. I figured I would just adjust it now. And I just added this little roof piece here. I did use like the 5 angled platform tool basically, and then I just cut out the shape that I needed and then moved it upstairs, and then I was able to scooch the roof pieces back, and everything worked out pretty good. So I know it was really quick. If you need to go back and pause it for your own studies, please feel free to do so, because I know I have done that with quite a few builders that I've watched in the past. And then here we're just working on the general layout. I just wanted to see where everything was going to go. So I did have the kitchen mapped out with the cottage living countertops and also the table from Jungle Adventure. And then in here we have the fireplace from Growing Together, and I actually used this couch here from Cats and Dogs because I loved all the pillows on it, but I also loved the green swatch, and I was trying to maintain almost like a greenish color scheme on the inside, but I didn't want it to be obnoxiously green. Just kind of wanted it to have like a central theme. So here it's kind of like a granny theme a little bit, like green, lots of pillows, kind of old school style furniture with just certain modern touches thrown in. So that is where we're going with that. And then after I got the living room set up pretty much mapped out, I decided to work on the rental situation setup. So right here, we're working on the bathroom, and I thought that little corner was perfect for a standing stall for the shower. And then I figured, okay, a toilet and a sink will fit in here. Now just trying to figure out where it's going to go. So I was able to make it a tiny bit smaller, and I used that Seasons door as well. And then this bed from Eco Lifestyle, which I do end up moving to the corner later on after I expand the back part of the rental, because I thought that it just needed a tiny bit more room. Here is the final kitchen setup that I came up with. I do end up moving the fridge to where the stove is, and same thing with moving the stove. I swapped their spots a little bit, and then I made a little corner for the fridge, and then I close it in. So now there's space for the bed right there in the corner. Again, I was just trying to go for the basic layout because I could only do so much between my kids' nap time, which is my build time, and also their bedtime, because that's all I get. I wish I had more time, but at the same time, kids are only kids once. So here we are picking out the couch. I used this one from Tiny Living, and then a base game coffee table, which I set a TV just above. I did use a wall mounted TV because I didn't want to take up too much space. It is a very small little living area. It also ends up being the dining area. In the corner, I end up putting a table. So here's some books and the little stereo. Unfortunately, you can't really access that bookshelf when it's used in this way with alt placement. So if you did need to move that to the center of the table, you can very easily do that. Just for the purposes of the screenshots, I wanted to make it look more aesthetic, so I used alt placement. Then here we are upstairs, jumping really quick, but we are working on mapping out how the upstairs bathrooms and bedrooms are going to be. So this is the upstairs bathroom with the shower tub combo on this side. Now, I didn't necessarily have it in mind to be like, oh, this is the parents' bathroom, this is the children's bathroom. But I did want to put 2 bathrooms upstairs because there's no bathroom downstairs. You understand? So I still wanted there to be 2 bathrooms available for the family that owns the home. But I could not fit one downstairs because the normal spot I would have put a bathroom was being taken up by the prospective rental spot. And then here we have the bedroom, just making sure the bed fits where I want it to go, or at least in the general area, and then placing some doors. And then over here we are going to be figuring out the children's room and also the window placement, because I had to move the bathroom around just a little bit. I wanted the window placement on the outside to stay the same, so I wanted to make sure I didn't screw that up. And then here is going to be the 2 daughters' room. I used a similar bed frame, just different sheets, because I thought that made sense. Maybe the parents bought the beds as a set, and then the daughters just picked their own bed sheets. And I also used the end table and dresser from Parenthood because I really enjoy them in that nice neutral swatch, and I thought it matched the beds really nicely. Also this toy box from Growing Together because it's very cute. And I think that's pretty much it. I may have chosen, no, I used this dollhouse, base game dollhouse, the castle one, because it's so pretty. And then here's adding some lighting, just a little end table light and a night light. And then we move back to the parents' room, getting the lighting figured out. And I picked out this dresser actually from toddler room stuff, or is that kid room stuff? Either way, I like that standing dresser in the dark wood tone. And then I do change that mirror later. Pardon the yawning. I changed that mirror later because I like it, but it was a little too ornate and it also didn't fit nicely. And also that book nook couch disappears and then comes back later. But here is that mirror. Instead, I used that one. I think that's from Base Game. And then over here, I had to change up the roofing on the outside of the rental because I did add that little bit of a bump out to give the room a little bit more shape on the inside. So I had to adjust the roof a little bit, but I still think it looks nice. And then I just copied and pasted the roof texture and the trim and the trim from the side of the house. That's pretty much it. And then here is the outside front patio. So we are getting started on the main decorating portion here of the main home. And I pick out this set from Get Together. So that little bench piece is actually an ottoman, and then the couch obviously, and then the little end table I put the candle on from, I think that's from Backyard Stuff. And then I jumped into the rental because I really wanted to get that set up. Just used some basic tile flooring and wallpaper for the bathroom, and also this lovely mirror, which I think is also Base Game. And then I jumped into the bathroom clutter kit to add the toilet paper, the plunger. I also added some shelves from the Modern Luxe kit. I used the glass ones right here because I thought they were very pretty and they could fit a lot of stuff on them. Considering what a small bathroom this is, you'd probably want as much storage space up above as you could possibly get. So you threw in some toilet paper rolls and a little tray of bath salts and such, cotton swabs and whatnot, all your toiletries, and then a little basket of towels up top and a little plant. I just used alt placement to get them where I wanted them to be. And instead of my usual bathroom light, I used this enormous saucer light because I thought it was just ugly enough to work. And then I added a little night light next to the sink after I placed the soap and the toothbrushes cup right there. I thought it was very cute. There's that plunger now. And then I think I add a little bath caddy into the shower as well. I did move the shower in just slightly so that it didn't cut into that bath caddy. And also a hanging towel from Spa Day right here on the wall, as well as a nice robe that goes next to the towel, and also a hand towel. And the hand towel on the little rod is from Growing Together. I love that one. I use that one all the time. I always think it's in the bathroom clutter kit stuff, but it is not. So in case I ever get that wrong, now you know. And then over here in this corner, I decided to place a little table, so I just used a simple Base Game table that matched the Base Game coffee table. And this chair from Laundry Day, because I thought it was really pretty, and it matched the long pillow on the couch very nicely. And then a little hanging plant from Paranormal Stuff, and also this light from Dine Out, just a little tea light. I thought it was very cute. And for the main light above the couch, I used this one from Growing Together. I thought it was very nice, and also a little wall sconce light next to the bed in lieu of like an end table with a light, because I didn't want to cramp up the space too much. And when I did my playtesting, the sim could easily get into the bed and get out of it, relax on it, all that fun stuff. So it did work out quite nicely. I also used this curtain from High School Years. I really, really like that one. And then I was trying to add some more wall art. So in the kitchen, I add that broom and dustpan right next to the trash can. And the broom and dustpan is from Laundry Day. The trash can is from High School Years as well. Over here, we are working on the upper head cabinets in our little tiny kitchen. Just Base Game to match the kind of ugly countertops as well. But I thought it made sense. Maybe when the family redid their kitchen, they moved their old kitchen set in here to save money. And then I used that also very ugly scrunched up curtain. Because, I don't know. And also the tile, I thought maybe the tile was like reused, or maybe this was like the old mudroom for the main home and it was already here. This kind of ornate and pretty, but also not pretty tile. I can't really describe it. Also made sure to add a smoke detector, and I did replace the appliances. They were the much lower end ones, just not the dirty ones. I did replace them with like the next step up because I thought that it was just a little too grungy looking for my taste. And then over here, we're just adding some decoration. So like some knives, some spoons, a cutting board, the spice jar rack that you saw on the wall there, which I think I end up placing the spice rack from the Home Chef Hustle pack anyway. So I might get rid of it. I might not. Not 100% sure. And then here, of course, is some soap and I think also some paper towels. Place them with all placement next to the kitchen sink. I thought that was appropriate. And then I used these pictures from Cool Kitchen Stuff. And I always forget about them, but I thought they looked really nice. But I also liked this little shelf with like tea and coffee and other stuff on it. And I thought it looked really cute in this kitchen. So I put that on the wall instead. And that's pretty much it for the kitchen. Then just kind of rearranging and deciding what kind of decorations we want in the living room, because I couldn't figure out what to put on the walls. And then I thought it would be really nice maybe if this was a little studio apartment for a student, because that would make a lot of sense. And also the style kind of felt like a dorm room to me. So I threw up these string lights, the fairy lights, because I thought that honestly, it makes sense when you're talking about a student, because everybody used to bring those string lights to put up in their dorm rooms. And then also hung those pots and pans because I found them while I was looking for other wall decorations. Then here in the kitchen, we are using the kitchen set from Growing Together. So the stove and the fridge. The sink, on the other hand, is from Cottage Living because it matches the countertops, and I wanted it to be cohesive with that set. And then, of course, here's the upper head cabinets. Now, those are not the same tone, and yes, I know, I figured it out right here, but I really was like, oh no, those are yellow. The fabric on that little piece is yellow. And then I realized that I was using the wrong shade of wood, so thank goodness for that. Because that would have been really bad. And then over here, we are just completing the upper head cabinets. I think they look very nice. I like the look of them because they're like just old enough that they're like decorative and kind of granny-esque. But at the same time, they just look, I don't know, like even a young couple could live here. Maybe they just really love that cottagecore feel. So in here, I used this little trick where you make like a little corner piece tile, and I just kind of tiled it in, and I also used the new wallpaper from the Home Chef Hustle pack in this green tile swatch because, again, I was trying to keep the theme cohesive. And I also use a wood paneling with green wallpaper on top for the living room. So this side of the house is very green, especially downstairs. And then, of course, base game curtains. I was trying to keep it I was trying to limit my packs, understandably, but like, I'm just terrible at that, you guys. I can't be trusted because I just love everything, and I love there to be all kinds of things and all kinds of clutter, and there's just not enough in the base game. So, pardon the yawn. My kids have been driving me absolutely crazy today. I'm so tired. But over here we have our little desk, and I picked a computer that I thought was new enough but also not like super modern because I didn't want it to clash with the rest of the home. And then the wall sconces I kind of spread out throughout the room because it just was a little bit dark. Use this little threshold kind of fence piece thing, and also the coat rack because I always use my little coat rack. And I threw in this potted palm over here because I thought it was really pretty. And then I think that's pretty much it. I added one more window because even though it was not in the, or two more windows, even though it wasn't in the reference photo, I really just thought it needed another window on that side to let in some more light and just to make the room feel a little bit more open. So that is what we did there. And then I wanted to add some more wall art. So I just threw in these little like bird pictures, and I do end up putting in a thermostat off camera because I realized right before I saved the house that I had not thrown in a thermostat, so I made sure I did that. Here's like a trash can and recycling can combo in the kitchen, and then adding some more lighting with these saucer lights because I thought that it needed just a little bit more light here. And I think here is where I decided to clutter up the kitchen. So we have a little hand towel hanging on the back there by the sink, also some soap, and I think I may have added paper towels one more time. No, I did not. I added a bread box on top of the fridge and also a little plant. I think I used this one from the Bloomin' Rooms. Is that what it's from? No, Greenhouse Haven, from the Greenhouse Haven kit. I really like that kit a lot, and especially that plant. And then we are just going to clutter up with some spices. And okay, so it was in this kitchen that I use the spice rack from Home Chef Hustle in lieu of that little box of spices. That's what I did. This was a couple days ago, and my brain is not reliable anymore because The tiny children have stolen my sanity, but that's all right. So there are some decorations, some from Home Chef Hustle with like the tomato sauce can and like the cheese and the grater and all that. I thought that was really cute. And some cookbooks, a little kitchen scale. I tried to make sure you guys had enough room countertop wise to cook meals, but if you had to get rid of something or move it, it's pretty simple if you just move it all to the one counter, or even just delete some stuff, or make use of how your family will use this home. And here we are adding a little bit more wall art. I think I picked one from the fitness stuff pack. That's this one right here, because I thought it was really pretty. Has a beautiful like UK style city in the back, and then that other photo was from the Book Nook kit, because I figured I already used bookshelves from them in the living room. And then up here in the hallway, we have a lovely little hutch or bureau thing from Growing Together. Again, I very much like that. And also that flower arrangement that was like an original SDX drop item, I guess. It wasn't really an SDX drop. It was just an update. And they added some extra stuff. And also adding some empty photo frames for family photos. Mostly to fill up the hallway space, because I did not like how empty it was, but also because I thought that they just looked really nice and they had a matching wood tone. And now here's something I did that was interesting. I used this rug from Realm of Magic, and I just pieced it together ever so slightly with the alt placement to make like an L-shaped runner rug. At first I tried to like make corner pieces with it, but it did not work out. Also, I must say, if you download this home, you may notice some slight inconsistencies, and you may not, but if you do, this is your daily friendly reminder to make sure you save while you're building. So here's what happened. I had gotten all of this done. The upstairs, completely done. It was great, because this was a whole new build session that started here, and I think I was building for about 2 hours. So this is the cut and sped up footage while you watch me do the boring stuff, like another bathroom. Either way, I had completed everything. I went to place a certain chair and table set from Get Together on the back porch, which I have not made yet, but you will see soon, on the back porch. And for some reason, it completely froze my game. Everything stopped. I was able to get it to the save and quit section and like get it to start saving, but then it got stuck on the saving screen and it would not clear. And I even left my computer alone for like an hour while I did other things so that I could give it time to catch up. And I was trying not to lose all hope that I had just lost all of that progress, because I had already recorded it. And I was like, I've already recorded it. I'm going to have to go back and redo everything that I recorded. But I did in fact have to go back and redo all of this. So if you download this home and you notice some things aren't quite where they were, please be nice and understand that I ran into some technical difficulties. And I did try to fix it to the best of my ability. But this is pretty much how it looks now. I did have to, like I said, I had to redo everything. It didn't take me that long, surprisingly, but it was quite frustrating. And the hallways where I noticed, like, I was like, oh man, where did I put that? Did I put it here? I was like looking back and forth from my footage to what I was doing. So hopefully I kept everything the same. I know that it probably won't be exactly the same, but I did make sure that at least all of the items were there when I saved the home. So you will see in the screenshots, it might look slightly different, but I used all the same items. I just may have placed them slightly differently because it was my second time around. But we are here in what I assume to be the daughter's bathroom, so that towel and rug kind of match. And then over here we are in their bedroom, and I did something very different. I used this rug from Discover University because it was really pretty, and also these curtains are from high school years. They're like these billowing pink, like princess looking curtains, and I thought they were really cute, so I just moved everything out of the way of those curtains. And then I think I just wanted to go in and add some wall decor. So here's another curtain, and I used this light from Tiny Living as well. And then the wall decor I chose was mostly butterflies and fairies. I don't know why, but it popped in my head and I thought it looked nice, so I just went with it. And we are working on that now. So I pull out this butterfly painting from Base Game, and I do change the wood swatch on the frame to the lighter wood to match the beds. And then I moved down those fairy posters because I thought they looked nice a little bit closer to the bed, like the daughter put them there herself. And then another butterfly poster or picture set over there. And then some hanging butterfly lights because I thought they were very cute, and also some nifty knitting. I apparently threw that in there as well. I really enjoyed that too. I was just trying all kinds of different stuff, and here's some like unicorn crafts over here on the dresser, and I just use alt placement to get everything set up the way that I wanted it. Then back to the hallway, setting up and more lighting because it just wasn't lit up enough for me. And in the parents' room, we have blue wallpaper with some brown fancy wood paneling because I thought that looked very nice. Same flooring from downstairs and in the hallway. And I used this Book Nook rug one more time here, and also some decorations from Book Nook kit later on. But for now, we have the curtains I'm throwing in that are actually from Cats and Dogs, and I don't know if I've ever used these in like this brown and plaid pattern, but I really enjoyed how they looked with the bed set. I think the bed set is also from Cats and Dogs, so that would make sense that they would match a little bit. And that photo set is from Growing Together as well. And then here is that extra decor I threw in on top of the mini bookshelves here. That little basket with some books and a plant in it, and the little tea light with the vase combo. And then I think I threw in a little stack of books as well, which I don't know if I ended up putting in the home when I had to redo everything. So that might be something it's missing. Fair warning. But here's the end tables, which are also from Growing Together. I very much like these ones in the gold swatch with like the mirrors on top. I don't know why, but they're just so nice. Having mirrored end tables though seems a little impractical to me. I would just cover that thing in fingerprints, and then I'd be so annoyed all the time that it was covered in fingerprints, especially with my kids. Oh my gosh, I have fingerprints everywhere. Fingerprints and little dirty footprints and just, oh, the struggle. But here we are over at the fireplace. So yes, I did throw a fireplace into the bedroom because I thought since there's 3 chimneys in the house, it makes sense that there would be more than one fireplace. And then over here, we are working in the backyard. I'm so sorry that it is dark. At first, it was dark until I changed the time of day. I just couldn't figure out. I was like, why is it so dark out here? Oh, right, because it's cloudy. So what are you going to do? But here we are in the backyard. I added this little back porch right here, and then I continued on with the siding and stuff, and also the flooring. I also got rid of this window here and instead placed this 6-pane window or door that leads outside because I thought it still lets in light, much like a window, but then I can have access to the back. And I do have to move the swing set because otherwise it would have deleted where the steps are, or it just wouldn't have been functional. Same Base Game railing and fencing from the front, and also same kind of roof, just kind of moved it in a little bit. And I think that it looks really, really cute, and it just makes a lot of sense that it would have a back porch as well because it's like a farmhouse style. And then for much of the rest of this, you will see landscaping. So this footage is still within the footage that I had to basically recreate later on because I lost my save. I'm very upset. I'm still upset that I had to go through that. So let me be your reminder to make sure that you save. Even if you have to set a reminder on your phone, like every half hour, just save, because it pained me so much. I was so very upset. And I went to bed that night very frustrated because it was already like 11:30 and I wasn't about to redo it then and there. I knew it was waiting for me the next day. And I was just like, man, I could have been almost done. It set me back an entire day. So upset. But it's okay. We're getting it done now. And that is the important part. So here we are using Tool to lower down a bunch of these debug plants because I wanted to make sure they weren't hovering too far above the ground. As you can see, most of them were, in fact, hovering very far. So I had to use Tool Mod to lower them down a decent amount. And that was a pain in the butt. But if you have Tool Mod, it is very useful for landscaping and certain things like this, because you can do things with your plants on a slope that you normally would not be able to do with just in-game compatibility. So it is very helpful. I highly suggest it. And also Better Build By. And also there's a new category in Better Build By where you can favorite items that you use all the time, and that includes debug and live edit items. So highly, highly recommend. I have not gone through and done any favorites yet, but I plan on doing it shortly because I think that it would be very beneficial for me as a builder to just be able to find things that I always use quickly and easily. And then here we are adding some vines from University. I thought they looked so nice on the back of this house right here. It just like completely filled up the space for me. And not that it was an ugly space to have, like it didn't bother me that it was empty, but when I added the vines, I said that is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And then I had to redo it. Anyway, that wasn't the hardest part, at least. I had other parts that were way more difficult. And then here we are trying to fill in as much of these gaps as possible because I kind of wanted it to look overgrown. So we have some long grass, and then I was figuring out the terrain paint situation with some muddy mud and some garden soil. I also put some mud underneath where the swing set is, and then just changed the orientation over here. That debug or live edit foxglove that came with the cottage living debug section is so nice. It's so pretty. I use that all the time. You'll also notice the colors do change a little bit on the plants because when I was building originally, see, now you can see my playtester Sim's daughter is here. When I first started building, it was just in build mode. Now that the Sims are here, it is the season of fall. So things are different colors. Then when we go back in the section after this, after I finish the walkway and such, the Sims will be there, but I will have used MC Command Center to change the season to summer. So I apologize for the change of colors and the change of feel of the home, but I didn't necessarily want this to be during the fall because I have finished my autumnal builds for the year as much as I love them. Also, I know for a fact the pathway does change. I actually make it too wide, 2 tiles wide out to the main sidewalk, so that does change, just so you know. You will see the change, and I don't want you to be surprised or think that I did it unintentionally. I did it intentionally. Here we are adding some walkway lights and also some lights to the posts because I thought it needed a little bit more. And then here we are, now it is summer. As you can see, the colors are much more vibrant and green, but that's okay. We have everything that we need to be figured out here. All of the front landscaping is getting done. I pretty much just repeated a bunch of the plants from out back and placed them up front and then maneuvered them around. I really like those ferns. I wasn't using a lot of them in previous builds, but since I used them in my last couple, I really enjoy them. I think they fill in spaces so nicely, as well as those like tall grass pieces, not the lavender ones, but just the tall grasses. These ones right here that I'm placing up against the stone fence. And then I use debug to lower them down, or not debug, oh my gosh. I used tool mod to lower them down, and I had a little bit of trouble at first, but it did work out. Then adding some more plants going down this little hill, because I really wanted to fill it in, make it very lush. Some rose bushes from Cottage Living, those yellow flowers like that were from, oh, what were they from? They were from Growing Together, those yellow flowers. I thought they were very pretty. And then I accidentally added 2 of those white flower bushes, the daisies, but it's cool. So we go down and change those and make sure they are properly sunken into the ground. That's honestly biggest pain in the butt is the landscaping when you use terrain paint, because it just doesn't match up right. And then you have to struggle with itty bitty increments, because if you do too fast, then it's like it's in the ground, you are screwed. It's just there forever now and you don't even know. And then here we are adding some more terrain paint out in the front, and I also added a pathway from the rental section door all the way down to the sidewalk, which you will see momentarily. But I actually picked out these stone rugs Actually, they're technically rugs, but they're stone pieces. Those are from Get Together. I put them leading to the sidewalk, and I thought that looked really nice, and just added some terrain paint underneath them to make them blend in a little bit more, and also some dirt on either side so it doesn't look like they're just placed on the ground. There's actually some dirt on either side of them. And then I think now is when I add the walkway. And after this walkway, that is pretty much it. We will get right into the live mode footage, and I'll show you the house we were trying to create one more time. Here it is. I think we did a pretty good job. I was very pleased with how everything turned out. The rental property has its own mailbox. The home has its own mailbox and trash can, and honestly, I think it came out really nice. So I would love to know what you think, and if you'd like to see anything else or any other rental properties or like an apartment setup or something like that. I would love to do whatever it is you guys have in mind. So thank you so much for joining me here today. Enjoy the screenshots and the music. Let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.